What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris bringing you more games from the Starseries Season 3 LAN event. This is going to be between GDB and Moscow 5, and well, now I know that these are best of threes, so I probably should have known that before. I guess I should have done research or something, but there's really no good way to look for that kind of stuff. Except, well, there is, but it requires a lot of work, and that's not what I'm in the business of doing. Anyway, the bans are going to be the Dark Seer, Naga Siren, Rubik, so kind of standard bans there. And then, of course, well, not of course, but we also have the Undying ban. It's been a little bit more popular. That, of course, means that the heroes such as the TA, Chen, and Leshrac are going to get through, and GDB going to be picking up the Batrider and Jakiro on top of that. So they do have that Jakiro as a support hero, TA to solo mid, and Batrider, well, I just casted a game with Na'Vi where they had a support Batrider. I casted a game a little bit ago where someone else is running a support Batrider, so we might be seeing a little bit more support Batrider, but honestly, it's not all that effective. If you get a whole bunch of stacking going on without pulling it, then you could clear that off and kind of be a jungling Batrider as far as that goes. But I do like Batrider soloing a lane, specifically the mid lane, if at all possible. M5 going to respond with a lone druid. So it looks like M5, they're going for a lot of pushing. They of course have the Chen creeps. Once he gets to level 5, I mean, he'll have 2 of those, and then they could push down towers or even go sooner if they really want to. Leshrac does have his Edict and Lone Druid with the Bear Demolish. Is going to be a pretty vicious push on that top lane if they decide to lane the Lone Druid there. They could lane the Lone Druid on the bottom lane, and I think I've gone over it several times why I don't like that. It's just so hard to get farm, and Lone Druid without farm is a sad druid. So they do have that pretty solid push lane going on right there. They just need to solidify their other lanes just a little bit more, which is why you see GDB banning out the Venomancer as well as the Queen of Pain. Moscow 5, on the other hand, they're banning out the Enchantress from GDB as well as the Wisp. They don't want to deal with that Wisp TA. But GDB, they have a lot of single target with a little bit of AoE mixed in with that Jakiro, so their damage is going to come from the TA. And, well, let's see if they want to go for another kind of semi-carry-esque hero. They could, of course, just fill the ranks with support and then have a solid 4-1 strategy. But more bans are going to be coming out really quickly. This game is just blasting right by. I like that, too. I don't like when people dick around and take forever. But it's going to be the Titan as well as the Enigma, getting those giant team fight ultimates out of the way, as well as having kind of a support aspect. Moscow 5, though, they're banning out the Enigma because of his jungling potential. It's also why they are banning out that Enchantress. So now GDB, they have really a lot of options open towards them. They do have the Templar Assassin to deal the damage, and, well, Batrider and TA could both solo lanes very easily. Now, there's not many jungling heroes left in the pool. I don't think there's any jungling heroes left in the pool. I mean, really good jungling heroes. So GDB probably going to be restricted towards a tri-lane unless they want to run kind of a unconventional 2-1-2 lane, which you would think that it's a little bit more conventional since it's seen so much in pubs, but in pro games you don't really see that, which is kind of weird. I can understand why, because if you have a 2-1-2 lane, you usually lose both of them. But I don't know. It's just a weird thing that goes on with Dota. So they could go for something like a CK and then have 2 semi-carries to really hold down the fort. Or they could even go for a hard carry, because Batrider, TA, Jakiro, I mean, Jakiro is that hard support that they really need. They could go for, well, there you go. They're going to go for a Tiny. Oh, yes. I do love it. So Tiny and Templar Assassin, they're going to be holding down the fort as far as the damage goes. And then, well, it really is up to GDB about who they want to have playing that hard carry role. Whoever's going to be the hard carry is going to be captained by Black. Most likely going to be the Tiny, I want to say. And then have a hard carry Tiny, get the movement speed, get the attack speed, and then hit things with trees. So much fun. So they do have the damage late game. They just need one more support hero because their lanes are pretty set, or a long lane hero. They could run a support Batrider with the TA. That's the thing I don't like about Batrider. He's kind of a supporty. He's kind of like Templar Assassin, except with not much damage, or not as much damage, not as much single target damage. Excuse me, jeez. So yeah, Batrider, I'm kind of finicky on him about where he's going in the lane. But GDB, they should need another support hero or a long lane hero, and then they will be good to go. Moscow 5, on the other hand, what are they going to go for? They do have the late game Lone Druid, But I don't know if Lone Druid could handle the late game when both TA and Tiny are on the other side of the field. They do need a solid mid lane hero, so something, well, that's why Queen of Pain got banned up. They're going to go for Bane Elemental, going to get a little bit more support going there, and that might push the Shrek to the mid lane. I think I've seen the M5 do that a couple of times. Lone Druid also might go to the hard lane, though. So M5, they do have quite a few options. They could pick up another semi-carry, something like a CK, and then go CK Leshrac Bane Elemental with Lone Druid in the... No, that won't work. In the mid lane. Chen's going to be in the jungle. Lone Druid go in the mid lane. And then Leshrac Bane on top. I mean, Nightmare does set up very well for Split Earth Edict. And then, you know, pick up a Bounty Hunter or a Broodmother or something like... Not a Broodmother against... Not against the GDB team. You don't want to pick a Broodmother up against these guys. Tiny, Jakiro, Batrider, and TA could all demolish spiders like nobody's business. But something like Bounty Hunter or Beastmaster, something like that, would go very well to cap off their lineup. Would be a very kind of unconventional way of laning, but it's still very effective. GDB, let's see what they're going to do. If they pick up a support hero, that will probably mean that they're going to have an aggressive tri-lane, I want to say. And it's going to be Keeper of the Light, so it doesn't really tell us anything, because Keeper of the Light could be either a support hero or a hard lane hero. So GDB, they have a lot of lane flexibility. Just having so many ranged heroes, so many heroes that are capable of soloing lanes, it's really going to be up to Moscow 5 to line the heroes accordingly. But then again, M5, they do have a good amount of lane flexibility as well. The only one who's really forced into one particular area, I guess, is the Chen, who's going to be jungling, but really that's why you pick up the Chen, so you could get that jungle. And it's going to be Slardar as the additional semi-carry. Now, I've been seeing a little bit more of Slardar. I've been watching just a couple of games, and it's gone okay, I guess. Slardar is going to be that primary hard carry, I guess. And, oh no, this might be a hard lane Lone Druid. Brace yourselves, Lone Druid fans. But anyway, it is going to be the Slardar, so they are going to have a little bit more minus armor. It's going to help out the Lone Druid quite a bit, also add into that Edict damage, because less armor means more Edict. And Slardar is going to add another stun to the M5 side, so now they have a lot of lockdown. GDB, they have Avalanche, they have Toss, kind of is a pseudo stun as well. Jakiro also brings a lot to bear, and then they of course have that ultimate in the Flaming Lasso, so their lockdown is not looking too bad either. The tracking from Amplify damage won't be the most useful versus GDB, but it's not really why you picked Slardar in the first place. Anyway, on the M5 side, we have Nexus going to be playing that Slardar solo, is going to be playing the Chen in the jungle, Sidoi on the Lone Druid, Stallion on the Bane Elemental, and Dread is going to be playing that Leshrac. On the GDB side, we have Sing Sing playing the Templar Assassin, Bambo on the Batrider, Alex on the Keeper of the Light, Kuroki on the Jakiro, and Black on the Tiny. So just with the hero assignments, we know that Templar Assassin's going to go mid, Bambo's going to go top as a hard lane Batrider, which will be very, very hard. And then Alex and Kuroki are going to be sorting Black on the bot lane, unless they decide to mix things up, in which case I will be completely wrong. M5 still not sure exactly where they're going to be laning these heroes, but it so far looks like it's going to be a dual lane of Slardar and Dread. Is it going to be a solo lane Bane Elemental? A solo mid lane Bane Elemental? That'll be very interesting to see. I haven't seen one of those in a pro game since ever. And he's actually heading towards the top lane. So, well, I mean, like, he's geared up for a mid lane. I guess he just wants to be with his team in case there's a level 1 breakout fight. But Sidoi on the bottom lane is going to be that hard lane Lone Druid, and he's not going to get anything. Keeper of the Light with the Illuminate will keep him back, plus the red clicks on top of that. And if he steps up, if he takes an Avalanche, well, the Keeper of the Light pre-level 6 is very, very soft. 530 HP points, you know, versus 663. Or, let's see, 549, but he has refraction, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for Sidoi in this bot lane. He's going to be pulling with his bear, try to get a couple of lanes worth of guaranteed experience, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be a solo mid lane Bane Elemental. It's going to be very interesting. Bane Elemental does do very well with experience. I mean, you get that higher level of Brain Sap, 300 pure damage. It's vicious, it really is. And you go for some Enfeeble, and you really cripple that Templar Assassin. So with a little bit more experience, oh yes, it is going to be Enfeeble. So with a little bit more experience, the Bane Elemental will be a little bit more useful there. Is he the best hero to lane against Templar Assassin? I don't know, because Refraction will block that Brain Sap damage. And then, well, Stellianer is going to lose a lot of lane control because of that. But still, he should be able to function, at least function in this game, especially since he's going for a fast bottle. Then again, Sing Sing is as well. You can see that even with the refraction damage, he's doing only 49 damage a hit versus the 58 from Bane Elemental. So Bane's going to use that Enfeeble to really control the lane versus this Templar Assassin. Apparently not working too well in this, as Sing Sing is already going to get 2 denies. The Stellianer can now trade hits and actually come out on top versus the TA. So yeah, I'm going to be watching this lane a little bit. Of course, it's going to be pretty obnoxious with all these red X's there. Looks like Bambo is not going to go to the top lane. He knows that he can't get anything done there, and he's going to try to pull, but unfortunately it's not going to... Oh no, it is. Thought this Harpy was in the way, but it wasn't. So Bambo's going to stack up these camps as much as he can, get the level 2 from getting these easy camps, and then once you get the level 2, you just stack this up 3 or 4 times, tar the entire camp 5-6 times, and then Firefly it all down. Easy peasy. On spot lane, Sadoy is getting a little bit of experience. The bear pulling has been successful, but you know, the GDB side with their support squad on the spot lane, they're going to be able to maintain the creep equilibrium enough so that Sadoy has a rough time in this lane. And they don't even need 2 heroes here. They could put 1 over here so that Sadoy is denied all of the experience. But right now he's getting something. So I guess that's something that is going for M5. See how this mid lane is doing. It's because I'm so interested in this mid lane Bane Elemental. He is gonna go for 1-1-1. Pretty like standard stuff, I guess, for mid lane Bane Elemental. But Nightmare on the TA. But he's not getting the last hits. He does have a bottle flying out towards him, and Dread is gonna find himself a haste rune. Stellianer is going to get a full bottle and then some. That's going to be full mana for him. Don't you just love it when that happens? Full bottle? Actually, no. Didn't fill up his mana. Not as much as I thought. But still a haste rune. And Sing Sing does have a bottle of his own. But unfortunately, he doesn't have that haste rune. So he is going to continue to be far behind. Now, let's see what Stellianer is going to go for. Usually, you would expect to max out Brain Sap. And then, I guess in this game, get Enfeeble. Because if you shut down a TA, she's going to be in Sad Town. I don't know. Could be interesting. You can see already she's doing pretty much next to nothing. She needs that refraction to even have a chance at last hitting versus this Bane Elemental. Now she's doing a plus 40, but the thing isn't on her, so we'll see. But so far, it's pretty tame game. Nexus is farming on the top lane as Slaughter. Only 14 for 3, actually. He's been dropping some last hits. What does Black have? 17 for 7. I guess, yeah, 14, 3. Oh, that's still pretty darn good. Wait, 3 minutes? 7. Versus... Oh, yeah, okay, he's doing fine. He's doing fine. My math is being silly, but Black is going to look to kill this bear, and if he gets that kill on Sadoy, no, it's not going to happen, so he does not take that health hit. Blue circling around, it is Kuroki. Black looking for an avalanche. He's going to find it, toss back Sadoy. He's going to toss him straight up into the air. Ice Path is going to hit, plus the Illuminate, and Tiny with the Rock Fist is going to punch the Lone Druid for first blood. Drawn on the bot lane, that's going to hurt M5 quite a bit, but they do have a primary hero who could make very good work in the mid stage of the game. That's Slardar. So M5, even though their Lone Druid might not get the most out of this lane, he's still going to have a decent time, but unfortunately for him, he just resummoned the bear and then he just died. So he's going to have a long time without that bear, and really, a Lone Druid without a bear has no chance in a lane, especially a tri-lane. I want to see Bambo clear off these stacks just so we could have a little bit of education there. Not the most stacks, but he's going to get the pretty deep Firefly on it. Try to burn it down. It's important to just keep firing off that napalm. He's going to do it decently. I've seen it better, but hell, Bambo's getting the experience. He's probably going to have to go back to the base, because I don't know why he went so far in. Usually you could just pull him out and then, you know, they'll follow you on the fire path. But hey, whatever works. First push on this top lane, Dread, level 2 Edict. There's been no one on this top lane for this entire time, so, you know, why not take out the towers and just free gold. Chen has been farming rather decently. He does have level 4, so almost is up to that 2 creep mark. Once you have that, then you're in for some good times, man. The tower does drop, and M5, I do believe they want to keep going. They don't have any arcane boots, but you know, with that Ursa Warrior on the front lines, it should be fine. Bambo there with the Firefly. He's going to try to thin out the creep wave. It's going to work, pull the aggro from the range creeps, but the siege creep still going to do a little bit of damage to this tower. Bambo has, though, successfully ushered away this push, and well, he still has a camp there for some experience later on. Mid lane, going the way of Sing Sing still. I think Stalliano would have been better off getting another point of Enfeeble. Now he's going to take a little bit of damage. Sing Sing with the Ice Path support from Kuroki. Stalliano is going to get a little bit of health back with that Brain Sap plus Nightmare on the Templar Assassin, so he's going to live, at least for now. But if he had, like, I feel like he could go 2-2-1 and not max out anything by 5, and then really just shut down this TA by not letting her last hit, but she's doing just fine with the last hits. Fraction is giving her enough damage, kind of canceling out that Enfeeble. So Sing Sing is doing well this lane. Stalliano, on the other hand, is, well, it's not exactly working out for M5, but with their team comp, really, what would you expect to be the support hero to deal with the Templar Assassin? I guess Leshrac could have worked. Actually, Leshrac would have been really good, because Edict is pretty darn good against the faction charges. But whatever. What's done is done, and GDB are getting a little bit of an edge because of it. Black, in the meantime, has been farming this entire time, going for the mathematically optimum tiny build, which is where you go, well, it doesn't really matter. You just want Avalanche first, so Avalanche, toss, that's for toss, grow, toss. Then that mathematically makes you do the most damage. So, yeah, just go for that, I guess, because why would you not want to be doing the most damage? Stalliano is going to take an Ice Path plus a Psionic Trap. It's going to take a lot of damage as well. Brain Sap is going to keep him quite healthy. Double damage on Sing Sing, not doing enough work. Flame Break and push Solo back. So everyone does live on both sides. Maybe not, though. Sing Sing still with the double damage rune. Now slowed out by the Stomp from the Centaur. And once again, nothing is going to happen in this portion of the game. But while all this is happening, two farmers are getting really big. That is going to be the Slardar, who looks like he's going to go straight for the BKB. That's going to help him quite a bit against the GDB side. Of course, he does have the lasso to deal with, so he won't have complete free reign to deal damage, but it's still going to be extremely restricted. They also, pulling the Nightmare all the way back. They also have Tiny farming in the meantime. Already has his phase boots, probably going to go for Drum. Yeah, he is going to go for Drum. That's why he has the Bracer. Very cost-effective item, and really the intelligence that it gives to Tiny is very, very much so needed, especially since he's not going to go for a set of arcane boots. So Doi has just completely given up on that bot lane. He's going to jungle instead. Now, jungling Lone Druid. Lone Druid is a pretty safe jungler. Like, he's not going to take any damage from creeps or anything like that. But he is not exactly the quickest jungler in the game, because he only has the bear, and the bear is great for tanking, but the damage it deals isn't really enough to make it for effective clear times. But still, he's getting a little bit of something. He's doing better than Bambo. No, he is not. Bambo has dipped into the top lane for just a little bit. He also has cleared off this hard lane stack, so he's now level 6, almost level 7. And at level 7, he will have that Sticky Napalm maxed out, and his Flaming Lasso is up. So we can now make things happen around the map. That is, if he could find the time and initiation to close the distance and get that lasso off. With Kuroki's Ice Path plus Sing Sing's Psionic Traps, they do have a lot of effective initiation range, so they should be able to let the Bat Rider close in and actually get that lasso to hit onto someone. Is there going to be a smoke? There might be. No, there's not. You don't really want to smoke up as the Lone Druid, because you kind of need to farm. Like, what is he going to do? Pray for an entangle? As I say that, he gets an entangle. But what is Nexus doing, actually? I guess he doesn't want to stay on this top lane. He knows that Bat Rider is extremely deadly at this point. Ah, there's the smoke, finally. They're going to go for the mid lane where Sing Sing was, but Sing Sing dropped out of that mid lane a little bit ago. And now M5, well, they're going to go to the bot lane. Oh, they're going to find the Keeper Light who's de-warding. There's a sprint from Nexus, going to close the distance very quickly onto the Keeper Light. Not yet level 6, so he can't use the Blinding Flash, and he's going to drop to a Test of Faith. His faith, unfortunately, was not high enough. Or deep enough? Is your faith deep or high? I don't actually know. Oh, no, Lasso! Bambo got nothing. I guess he tried to pull someone onto the high ground. Solo is going to take an avalanche toss. Still alive though. The amplified damage on Tiny means he's at -6 armor. Oh, I guess he tried to lasso and then he got stomped. Yeah, he did. Okay, that's what's happened. I am a detective. With 3 on this bot lane, Chen with 2 creeps. They got to deal with 3 heroes on the other side. Black with a lot of creep clearing, plus Illuminate, not to be messed with. Sidoi, Solo, I'm sorry, in a little bit of trouble. But Bambo is now going to get Fiend's Gripped. He's going to drop to this. Nothing to interrupt that channeling. Sing Sing trying to do what he can. Illuminate's being charged up. Do a lot of damage to everyone in M5, but not enough to get a killing blow anywhere. Black does have very low mana, so it only has 1 avalanche left or a toss, depending what he wants to get off. GDB, they're trying to fight this, but they cannot win. They already did lose Bambo as the bat. And M5, although they don't have the ultimate up for Bane Elemental anymore, they still cannot afford to fight. They could afford to fight this because of the damage current for Slaughter, but the huge Illuminate, oh, just barely not killing off Nexus or Dread. And it's GDB, unfortunately, getting nothing from that. They got very close to everything, but unfortunately, they got nothing. Sometimes it's just what happens. M5 take a 1-kill lead in this game with the kill on the Keeper of the Light and then the Batrider. Let's see how the gold graphs are going right now. Slightly in favor of GDB still, just because of the early game farm and experience. Still in favor of them, actually. I guess... Oh, that's definitely because of the Batrider. Yeah, he's been stacking up those hard camps. Plus, he got some lane experience, whereas the Lone Druid has been forced into the jungle for pretty much the entire game. Not doing as well as the Batrider is, even though he does have a little bit more net worth. Okay, I was having this discussion with someone else, even though, okay, Batrider does have more gold per minute, or he did. So, yeah, net worth, gold per minute, usually reflects the same thing, but sometimes it's a little bit different, I guess. Batrider now might be in a little bit of trouble. Stallioner, 5 seconds until his Fiend's Grip. He does have some pretty high nuking damage. Bambo's going to go for this kill. Possibly no. He's just going to fall back. Sonic Trap's going to secure his escape route out of there. And Solo with 2 Wiltkins being the most annoying person in the game right now. So much vision, so much damage. These things, like, I don't remember if they got nerfed, but they should have, quite honestly. Because a level 1 Wiltkin, and you win the lane. It's easy. It's easy. But 3 on the mid lane, soon to be 4 for GDB, possibly looking for a tier 1 tower. Their pushing isn't that high. They don't have any liquid fire, so it's just going to be pure base values plus the Illuminate. You might just look for a pick though, because I know that there are a couple of squishy inti-heroes on this mid lane, but I do think this is a little bit of a waste of time for GDB. Unless they could find an ice path into a Sonic Trap, into a lasso. Well, M5, they're not going to die anytime soon, and they're playing very cautiously. They're just keeping their distance. They're going to be fine here. Black is still getting farm on spot lane, does have his drum up. Now let's see if he's going to go for Yasha or straight Aghanims. Oh no, there's initiation on Stallioner. He got pulled in. The ice path did hit. Nexus is going to get a 2-man crush. Crow taking a lot of damage from the tower. He can take lightning as well. Popping off the stick charges. He should be fine from this one. Sing Sing with double damage and got to fall back. The Lone Druid eventually does hit that Jakiro. Batrider up into the trees, going to teleport out of there. And it is a 1-for-1 trade of support for a kind of a not support. So this is going to favor GDB just a little bit because they got a kill on the Bane Elemental, who's worth a little bit more to M5 than Jakiro is to the GDB side. But who actually got the kills? It was the Lone Druid. Actually, yeah, the fact that Lone Druid got the kill going to help M5 quite a bit. And Keeper of the Light, I mean, yeah, kills are great on him, but he usually does have a lot of farm. He has a lot of income coming in with the high level of Illuminate. A lot of damage coming out from that spell. So he's usually not too strapped for gold, but still going to help him towards his mech, or headdress. Yeah, there we go, mech. So his tower is going to take a little bit of damage once again. Fiend's Grip from Stallioner onto Bambo. They cannot save this Batrider. Slardar coming in for the kill. Do you feel like that crush is a little bit unnecessary, but why not get a kill in a Blaze of Glory? You know, just slam him with the trident. It looks a lot cooler than just smacking someone without that crush. So it's just a slow and steady slugfest right now. Just both teams just clashing one time after another. Stallioner using the Fiend's Grip to great effect. And that's really what you get from laning a Bane Elemental in a solo lane. He got that Fiend's Grip very, very quickly. It helped him quite a bit on this bot lane. Fiend's Grip, I mean, it's a great spell if you could get it off. And GDB have quite a few stuns. But so far the Bane Elemental has been able to lock out the Bat Rider. And he is probably the one who has the easiest time canceling that spell. Jakiro is also pretty easy as well, with the Ice Path being so having so much range. But the Firefly, the Flame Break is actually the easiest one. Stallion getting pushed back into Sing Sing now. He's gonna take a lot of damage, plus the lasso back. Where did he go? Oh, he got sent back to the base. Chen, of course. I'm like, where did Bane Elemental go? But he is going to survive that, and now the lasso is down from Bat Rider. It's another minute until that's up. GDB continuing to push onto this lane. You can get a 2-man dual breath, plus the Illuminate onto 2 as well. Stallion is going to eat a creep's soul. Dread unfortunately does not have that option. But GDB, they spent so much time with 3 people on this mid lane. Nexus all the while farming on the top lane, almost at his BKB 15 minutes into the game. So GDB, they have yet to kill this tower. It is slowly getting dropped, but that's the key word, slowly. Black has gone for a Yasha, so his movement speed is pretty darn high. He's going to attack pretty quickly as well. This tower is finally going to drop to Black. Now he's probably going to go for an Aghanim Scepter, but I don't know, that might have taken a little bit too long. They lost several kills in that exchange, unless they could get, of course, a kill on Stallion. Avalanche is going to hit, Flame Break going to force him back into Sing Sing. The refraction damage there, Brain Sap is going to keep him alive for just a little bit longer, but the Ice Path plus the Illuminate is going to take him down. And now Solo trying to make his way out. Bambo looking for a Shackle. Next is going to get a 2-man stun on Sing Sing and Alex. Sing Sing does pop an invisibility rune, but just leaves out of that. Okay. So M5 losing their Bane Elemental once again. Really been pretty much the only one to die in this game. But GDB, do they want to keep fighting? Yes, they do. They're going to go straight in for Nexus. Going to get a crush into Sing Sing. The Flame Break, though, is going to force it into the horses, and he's going to get plowed over. Black, with the movement speed, is going to look for something else, but he doesn't have any cooldowns up. But with the back, on the back of that Slaughter kill, GDB, they're going to look towards another tower. Sidoi, what does he have? He's going straight for Pipe, so that's in a support-oriented Lone Druid. That's not going to help M5 right now. They're relying purely on the Slaughter to deal the damage. If you don't have the Slaughter, you don't have any damage. This tower is going to drop. GDB carving their way up the mid lane. Now they could go for Roshan. They could go for a very easy bottom tower. It's very, very weak right now. It's going to be a smoke. Where are they going to go? They're going to go to the bot lane. No one from M5 is there, though, so it's just going to be a scout around? Sure, why not? Nexus is still farming, though. And he's level 10. Most gold per minute, though, still on Black. He's been farming for a great deal of time as well. He's level 11 now with level 2 on that grow. So very valuable for him. Just the right-click damage. So much right-click damage. It's amazing. You could punch down creeps when they're at full health. It's pretty sweet. I actually kind of want to get Empower on Magnus onto Tiny. That should be a thing. I should get a whole bunch of people and then run a buff Tiny build where you just get Tiny and then you put Empower on him, put Bloodlust on him, get some auras or something, and then just punch things for like 600 damage. That'll be awesome. It won't work very well, but it'll be cool. But yeah, bot lane tower does get brought down. M5 looking for a tower in exchange. Level 2 Edict, though. Leshrac went full on into the lightning, seeing as though he was up against a slow siege. Black is going to get stunned before he can get that avalanche off with the movement speed. Plus Sonic Trap, Dread, and Solo both in trouble. They got to go for Solo, though. The Test of Faith or Persuasion, it will send him back to the base. Solo might be in a little trouble, and he is going to drop instead. I guess M5 knew with GDB, I'm sorry, knew that with all the movement speed on the Tiny, they were guaranteed at least one of those kills. Bambo going to find Nexus, going to force him away. The crush does hit regardless, though, and the tower does go down. Bambo going to try to stack up some napalm onto him, but Black with the movement speed, he's coming in, but against sprinted Slardar, it's very hard to keep up with that. So Slardar is going to run away. Bambo still looking for something here. Not going to find him. Instead, going to burn down this creep wave, perhaps setting up for a push onto this top lane tower. Everyone from GDB is converging to this area, so that is going to be their objective. And with that tower, that is going to mean all the tier 1s for M5 are dead, whereas GDB, they've lost 2 towers, but they've also taken, at this point, 4. Well, once they take the top lane, if they take the top lane, M5 looking to defend this. They do have the Fiend's Grip up, and Nexus does have a BKB now, so he could run in, get a 2-3-man stun. Let's see how they're going to do this. Keeper of the Light has to get some Illuminate damage off from the back. Here comes Nexus. He's going to go straight in for Sing Sing. No, going to go for Croaky instead. Going to stun him right out of that Nightmare. Croaky's going to drop before he gets anything off. That is going to be the first kill. But Bat Rider killing off Bane Elemental. Black getting Avalanche tossed. toss combo on the Leshrac. Of course, he's going to fly through, not too much to Sing Sing. Still in the middle of everything. Bambo is the one on the run, taking amplified damage, trying to juke out Nexus, and it has worked. He's going to go down to the high ground. He's going to go down to the high ground, down to the low ground, after juking up onto the high ground. So it is a 2-for-1 trade. GDB only losing their primary support hero in exchange, granted, for 2 of the support heroes onto M5's side. But still, 1 for 2. The numbers speak for themselves. They don't get the tower yet, but M5, they didn't really get anything out of that. They used the 10-second BKB charge on Slardar for very, very little. So GDB, if they can keep taking those fights, they're going to be in pretty much prime condition to take this game. But I do believe that M5 will be able to step up their game later on. Lone Druid does have that pipe up now, and when you go for a pipe, usually that means the items to follow are going to be all aura based. Possibly, get some upgraded boots, tranquils, or phase or something. Phase boots. I am correct. But it's probably going to be something like Vlad's AC in the future, because really you're not depending on this Lone Druid to do damage. He's going for like a full-on tanky build, and really there's not many heroes that straight up rush Pipe of Insight. So Lone Druid probably going to try to protect Nexus as much as possible. The Vlads will help Slardar quite a bit, do a lot more damage, get that lifesteal as well. And the amplified damage on the other end, his lifesteal is going to be quite a bit. But a Sonic Trap plus Bambo with the Blink Dagger, going to pull Stallion back towards the team. No Fiend's Grip here, he's going to drop. Sing Sing, though, taking a lot of damage from Nexus. Horse is going to fly through, do a lot of damage to Dread. Nexus does pick up the Templar Assassin kill. Bambo can get brought down by the Chen Nuke as well. Dread stuck in the Ice Path, going to take a dual breath as well. He's going to burn down to that. And Black, in the meantime, picking off one in the back end, now being chased by Nexus. He's going to make his way out. Mana Leak onto Nexus, forcing him to stand still, and a 2-man Sonic Trap plus a 2-man Ice Path as Croaky returns to this fight. And he's going to get a dual breath as well. Pipe instantly being shredded through with the Illuminate. Nexus is going to get a stun onto Black. He's trying to make his way out, but a long-range toss. Balling out of control. That Chikiro is a grenade. He is going to kill Nexus on landing. Croaky out of mana, unable to do anything. He's going to take a little bit more chakra, and the liquid fire is now up. Creep Wave gets demolished. In 20 seconds, they could get more liquid fire onto this tower. This push is so hard for M5 to stop. Stallion is going to try to pull the Creep Wave back towards him so that the tower could keep some of its health. But, okay, Sing Sing, you don't want to be there. But GDB took another really good fight. 10-5 is the kill lead, so it's a very short lead, and it's a very tight lead. Like only 5,000 in both golden experience towards GDB. But still, an advantage is an advantage, and Tiny now does have enough money to close out his Aghanim Scepter. Not yet level 16, so it's not going to be the biggest tree in the world, but still, the branch is... Actually, the tree doesn't even grow, so I guess it's not going to be the strongest tree in the world, but still, a tree's a tree, and he will be able to smack things down pretty effectively with it. Oh, in my Tiny build, you gotta have Empower for Magnus and Wisp. That is how you build Tiny right there. Just millions of attacks per second. Freaking like 100% cleave. It'll be amazing. So I should try that. I should really try that. Looks like M5. They're gonna go for Roshan with the amplified damage from Nexus level 2 plus the Edict. Although the Edict's still level 2. He's instead going for Split Earth. Gonna be spotted out. Oh no, Dread. You don't want to be there. Teleport in, but a blink from Bambo, canceling that teleportation. A free kill for GDB. So convenient when things line up like that. Slardar is closing in. Oh no, that's not where we want a Flame Break. Bringing Nexus closer in. He's getting a 2-man crush. Going to go straight for Sing Sing. Has those refraction charges up. And the Tiny is nightmared right now. But Sudoi is 3-stacked onto that Tar. And he's going to get sent back to the base by Solo. Solo is going to sacrifice himself in exchange for that. Nexus being tossed right back into Alex. And he's going to take a dual breath. 3-man stunning going to buy him a little bit of time, but it's not going to be enough. He does have the Aegis, which he just got. But now, Toss is going to be up, so he's going to get that disabled, plus the Ice Path. Nexus, oh, Toss not going to get disabled. It's going to be the death of Nexus, regardless of the horse is plowing right through. And Slardar does drop again. Does he have buyback? He does. And he's going to have to if they want to defend this tier 3 and then the Raxes, because Kuroki is slowly leveling up. He just got Macro Pirate. What the hell build are you going, man? That is not level 11 stuff. Wait, that's not level 11 stuff. What the hell? Did he get stats? No, he's holding a point. I don't know what's going on. Well, he's holding a point for some reason. I think he would get Liquid Fire, but hell, M5 do buy back. Yeah, both Chen and Slaughter forced to buy back because of that. So GDB, they should be content with that little victory there. That's a lot of gold out of the pocket of both Slaughter as well as Chen. And Slaughter especially, you don't want him getting any more items because he's already doing a lot of chaos in the fights, not doing the most damage, and you don't really want to let him do the damage. Once he has the BKB, that's what Slaughter could do. He can mess up your formations, he can make you scatter, because when you have that sprinting Slaughter coming at you who's magic immune, you flee. Like, it's just like an instinct. But once he gets damaged, then you flee and die at the same time. So that's not going to happen though, because Slaughter is not getting much farm. He's constantly dying in these fights, and GDB, well, they're just taking the towers one at a time. M5 looking towards a bottom lane tower in exchange. They're most likely going to get this. GDB, though, they can take this tower and teleport back and defend their bot lane tower. See if they want to do that or just go for a tier 2. There, it looks like they're going to go for a tier 2. Black on this bot lane cannot defend this. You should just go back and heal. Actually, no, they actually do have Alex going to recall someone back. Split Earth. He's going to clear off the creep wave. Lightning Fly as well. Here comes Bambo with the Blink Dagger Lasso. He's not going to find anyone, though. Blink Dagger a little bit too far away. Solo. Oh, he's going to get tossed right in. It's a Bat Rider grenade onto Stallion. No Fiend's Grip here. Bambo's going to drop before he could actually bring him in. Stallion gets the Brain Stop Half. Hand of God flying off as well. Illuminate flying through. But Black is now Fiend's Grip in the middle of everything. Black is probably going to go. No, a 4-man Ice Path plus a Macro Pyre. Not going to do enough damage, however. Because M5, they're all very, very healthy. And now GDB, they're on the run. M5 have lost to Chen, and Tiny does buy back, as well as Bambo. He returns to the fight as well. Dread on the run. Kuroki with an Ice Path is going to land it on Dread. Nexus is going to teleport out of there safe and sound, but Dread trying to get a chain stun, unable to turn around. And GDB with the buybacks do manage to hold and beat back M5. Once again, they do hold on to the tier 2 tower. Everyone from M5, well, they didn't really have any buyback option. If they bought back, where would they teleport over here? It's going to be way too long, so it's not even worth it. But GDB with the buybacks do manage to at least take an even fight there. Of course, they had to buy back. And when your Tiny has to buy back, that's not exactly what you want to have happen. But he's pretty much rolling the dough. He's killing creep waves like that, so it's always very, very fun to watch when you kill an entire creep wave with one hit. Which, by the way, will happen when you empower a Tiny with an Aghanim Scepter at level 3 grow. I'm pretty sure it'll happen. It'll be pretty cool to see. Battle Fury also, just go for a flat damage build on Tiny. Yeah, why not? I really have to do this, but I'm probably not going to because I'm lazy and I'll forget about it probably within the hour. But M5, they now have to defend a push on the bottom lane. GDB just want all the towers right now. Nexus is still on the top lane. He can teleport back from this. But his BKB is slowly getting shorter and shorter in duration. Bambo going to look for that Blink Lasso initiation onto anyone he could find. They're going to see that these are Bane Elemental illusions, so they're not going to be fooled with this. Kuroki getting more and more liquid fire is going to be the pushing is a lot easier, but here we have a wraparound from M5. Stallion are going to open up. Who's he going to actually focus? He needs to get the Fiend's Grip on someone useful. Nightmare onto Alex. There's not going to be any Blinding Flash, and Bat Rider instead goes straight for Slaughter, who's out of position. Alex is going to drop, but it's a Slaughter in exchange for Keeper. The pipe does pop off. Everyone in M5 can take a lot less magic damage now. Firefly plus Ice Path doing literally nothing, but now the Shack does drop. Sing Sing still doing a lot of damage, kiting around this bear. Now he's going to go straight for Solo, and as well as Stallion Black with the cleave damage, doing a ton of work here. The bear is the only thing still alive. Stoy trying to blink his, teleport his way out of this, interrupted by the Flame Break plus the Ice Path, and there's the GG call by Solo. Wow. Such a huge wraparound gank, but such miscoordination or something. I mean, Slaughter got initiated upon by Bambo. Blink Lasso takes no prisoners, and Slaughter wasn't even in that fight. I do believe that was a very early tap out from M5. They could have rallied for another fight, I feel. I mean, Slaughter wasn't even in that fight. If they push down this tower, GDB, this tower would just now be falling, and they would be able to revive and try to defend this, but I guess they didn't want to go for it. Huh. So, okay. I do feel like the Slaughter didn't really pull his weight. I mean, like, he did pretty much everything he needed to do, but there was just not enough damage coming out from M5 when Slaughter is the only one you have dealing the damage. It's not even that much damage. You're in for a little bit of trouble with so much magical damage coming out of the GDB side. That is going to be it for this game. GDB versus M5. I do believe this is a best of 3 from the Starseries LAN event. How did Tiny die? I'm going to skip through this a little bit, because everyone's gone. The hell? Well, I kind of want to see a score screen, just because all of my other games have had score screens. What the hell? Why are they here for so long? Did they really just not want to quit? Black just... He didn't even buy a Divine Rapier or something. Come on, man. If you're gonna stay when everyone else is left, at least buy a Divine Rapier. Well, that's going to be it, guys. GDB win this over M5 from the Star Series Season 3 LAN event. More games to come later. There's the score screen. Finally got it. GG.